Cinephiles. Take them out. Certified 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 Cinephiles.
Movie boys, movie boys, movie boys, movie boys, movie boys, movie boy. Welcome to Certified Cinephiles.
You know what it is.
I just have 3 words to say. They're turning the frogs mean. Today we are watching Hell Comes to Frogtown
You
with
know it.
My favorite actor, Rowdy Roddy Piper. You know it. You love it. I came here to do 2 things: chew bubble gum and podcast live on YouTube, and I'm all out of bubble gum. Hell Comes to Frogtown is about Sam Hell, played by Rowdy Roddy Piper. He's a stud. He's got the libido of a fucking Elden Ring boss. I don't know. He's just the horniest guy of all time.
He's so horny. He's so horny that the government is like, ready to look past his crimes and saying, look, we need you.
He's got the spermazoa. His load is so strong, the women run government, and they're willing to cast aside all of his criminal charges to help them impregnate 13 dozen fertile women. Or no, 13 women. I thought that said a baker's.
He does got a jobs to do to go after Baker's dozen.
And if you've ever wondered what would happen if the government took over your crow, if they could control your crow, and they locked it up and said you can't use this unless we let you. That's what this movie's about. His crow gets locked up in a little cage. It has a flap to fuck. He can pull his little fuck. I cussed. I think we're not supposed to cuss till like 10 minutes in.
Oh
Should we
shoot!
restart it? No. But anyway, the frogs are mean in this. And they're taking over the world. There's a place called Frogtown, and these humanoid frogs are horny as shit.
They got 3 peppers.
Isn't that amazing?
I only have 1.
Yes, and I mean we'll get into this a little bit more, but plain and simple, this movie is. Well, first off, if you're new here, welcome to Certified Cinephiles. I'm currently in a halfway house. Pat, because the industry's decline, is not acting or doing anything with Disney.
I'm kind of been blackballed, mostly from this podcast. A little bit of some allegations by Mindy Kaling. She said I did some things that were unsavory on the set of Velma. I, of course, played Scooby on season 2 Velma. But first of all, it's an animated show. There's no set. Okay.
It's
Second
in the
of
booth.
all,
He's working magic in that booth.
And I require a lot from the engineers when I'm in the booth, and when I get in character, I am literally a dog. So you can't expect me not to hump a leg, bark at some people. So it's all bullshit, but it has affected my standing in Hollywood, and
Not
I
for
don't
long.
got no jobs.
Not for long, but
Why?
you know what? Did you ask me why?
Yeah. Do you know of a job that I'm going to get?
Well, because we're taking it over. We're going to...
Oh, yeah, of course.
Apocalypse style, we're going to bomb it to the fucking ground. Oh, shit. Shoots.
In a video game? Just say in a video game.
In a video game.
In a video game.
See? Saved it.
In a video game, we're going to absolutely annihilate all all of the Hollywood deep state and even their thick roots. We're going to spread so much poison across all of Hollywood. We're going to get into the roots and we're going to destroy it. And then we're going to replant our seeds all over Hollywood, and we're going to be celebrating with proper cinema. And the new age is upon us, and it's going to be a reckoning. Patrick and I
And all targeted individuals, that includes me, Will, and everyone that listens to this, because you have been tagged as a targeted individual. You probably have noticed that your targeted ads are getting there for handcuffs, and your targeted ads are for you to turn yourself into the prison. That sort of stuff. You may notice that people in the line at Subway are recounting your conversations that you had with your friends the night before. You start to notice these little things. They build up. You are now a targeted individual. And once we're in power, we will end the gang stalking for everyone, and Hollywood will be for the underdog once again to win out, and no one can stop. Wait, that was good. That kind of worked. Play it. And no one will be able to stop us, for we are the best ones at stopping the Hollywood elitist deep state. Nobody can defeat what we are here to do. I wish it was longer.
Yeah, it's just 11
That's
seconds.
It's kind of the first good one you had.
What, you don't like my time? I recorded this one myself.
That does sound like your little hole.
Whoops. Yeah, we're going to be bringing it back. Brick by brick, stone by stone, wall by wall. And unfortunately, we have targets on our heads. But guess what? So do you. And so we're no longer alone in this. Make sure you get a dash cam. Make sure you have a GoPro on every appendage. You need a chest mount GoPro. You need a GoPro on the back of your head, and you need 2 wrist mount GoPros in order to record your surroundings at all times. Otherwise, they're gonna find you. They're gonna take you. They're gonna get you.
You need, and you the time you have in the day is nigh cut in half, because you have to go into the world with all these GoPros on you. You then have to go home and you have to watch all this footage when you get home. It's not just about recording it. You have to review each appendage's camera separately, and that takes up a great deal of your time. But you need to build a case up. We can't help you unless you build a case up.
Yeah, and we have worked with a lot of lawyers. It turns out that lawyers suck, and they want to represent you, but then they have all these rules, and next thing you know, they're the ones that are suing you, and then you have about 16 different lawyers actively suing you, and then you have to try to team up with a singular lawyer that's going to say, okay, this is what we're going to do.
A super lawyer. We had to get a super lawyer, and he was just a better scammer.
Yeah,
and
I ended up in prison.
Yeah, now he's in a halfway house. But fear not, Will is almost out of the halfway house. He has a hearing coming up. And soon, I know he's grown to be friends with all the guys in there, but he will be out and we'll be able to do more together, because we'll have more than 1 hour of internet to work with. This is Will's only... if you've never listened to an episode this season, Will is in a halfway house, and he only gets an hour of internet a week. Bruh. Luckily for me and you, he chooses to use it to do this live stream. And that's why we're doing it live. Yeah.
And Pat and I are megaminds at this point. We have we've taken several steps. I mean, Pat's been megamind for a very long time. But he finally, and honestly, my time in rehabilitation, societal rehabilitation, has lended me the ability to become megamind. I can listen to 7 audiobooks at once, and my brain is getting bigger every single day. And so the thoughts.
Have you tried any hats on? Do your hats fit?
I don't have any hats here. They have
Not much of a
shrunk
hat guy.
exponentially though. Any hat that
Well,
I've
that's
tried
not
has
the hat
shrunk
shrinking.
exponentially.
That's not the hat shrinking. That's your head.
I meant
getting bigger.
the hats they look like they shrunk because my head's gotten so big.
Well, they look like they shrunk because your eyes are getting bigger too, and everything's starting to look smaller because your eyes are getting bigger.
Yeah. These big ol' eyes.
Not besides all this stuff we're doing, taking down the Hollywood deep state. It's a lot of work, but we're also working on a variant of Alpha Brain, Sigma
would
Brain.
be-
We're
this
working
would-
on Sig.
This would be our own concoction.
We've kind of there's a guy that's a scientist that's working with Will. He got busted for meth, but it is technically science. But he has beakers and stuff, and they broke down Alpha Brain to see what was in it and see how it could be improved for a Sigma male like myself and
Isn't
like
that
Will.
amazing?
So be on the lookout for Certified Cinephiles Sigma Brain.
Yeah, it basically has, I mean, this is years of experience of every supplementation that has increased cognitive function, better sleep, better testosterone levels. It allows your heart to pump blood 3 times better than how it did before, which allows
It makes
more
your heart
oxygen.
beat fast and hard.
And it gets more oxygen into your brain then expands. So you've probably heard about ketamine treatments for depression. You've probably heard about microdosing mushrooms and like chocolates or whatever. You've probably heard about SSRIs and all of this baloney, but that's all mainstream crap. That's not going to be good for you in the long run. This is going to be proven results immediately. You're going to be able to recite things like the alphabet backwards at a traffic stop, no matter how intoxicated you are.
You'll be able to look at all of those GoPro footages at once, and you'll be able to, like, you're a freaking security guard at a high security
And
museum.
better yet, you probably won't even need the GoPros because your 6 senses will be so strong that you will
That's
understand
a
when
good
everybody's watching
point.
you.
You know, in Fallout, when you freeze time to look at all the enemies' weak points, you're gonna be able to do that with all of these bad guys that are gang stalking you. You'll be able to freeze time and select them one at a time, and their names will pop up.
You'll know their names before you even meet them.
Mm-hmm. You kind of will have an internal heads-up display, and that's all from the pills. So be on the lookout for that.
Yeah, we are really talking about, once I am freed from the shackles of the man and outside of this halfway house, the possibilities are endless, and I'm ready to take...
We've been doing this with 1 hour of internet a week. Imagine if we had
24.
20. There's more hours in the week than that even. We could do that times 7. We could be doing this stuff all the time, minus sleep, which we don't do much of.
You won't need it as much when you're on Alpha Brain. Plain and simple.
Sigma Brain.
So, back to this movie, Hell Comes to Frogtown. I have been holding off on us doing this episode because I didn't know how dire our situation would get, and I realized we have nothing to lose. All of our listeners are on a list. If you're a first-time listener, sorry, but you're now on a list, so you might as well enjoy the episode. But this movie
don't
is
leave now.
my favorite movie of all time, and it
What?
is...
That is awesome because, like I said, Roddy Piper is my favorite actor. This is one of my favorite movies, so to hear it's your favorite movie of all time is awesome.
Of all time, we have that in common for sure. And, I mean, good God, this movie has it all, and you can see why the Hollywood elitist deep state decided that they wanted to get rid of it and hush it up. And, of
This
course...
has all my favorite things, hot babes and cool wet frogs.
Yeah, and of course,
Roddy
this
Piper.
movie was produced by the guy who created this was written and directed by Donald G. Jackson, the guy who produced the Rollerblade 7, a movie we covered earlier this season. And I mean, this movie was, in my opinion, more fleshed out than that movie. But this movie is higher budget. This movie had it all. This movie had everything that should have made it a blockbuster hit, and yet so many people have never heard of it, and it only came out in 1988. We're only talking like 36 years ago, and nobody's heard of it.
It fucking sucks, bro. I am pissed off this movie doesn't get its flowers. The not CGI, the practical effects is so good in this. The frogs are so wet, they're so horny. This movie is so sexually charged that I am getting clammy just thinking about it.
It'll definitely. I mean, if you've been holding off on that nut for a couple of days, this movie's going to give you no other option. This movie's going to back you into a corner. And
So
even just the sight of Roddy Piper's body in this, I'm like, good God.
He's a hard body. There are the only soft bodies in this are the frogs, which is their natural state. That's why I identify with them. I'm wet and soft, and I love frogs, but not these mean frogs. These are some of the scariest guys I've seen in a movie in a long time.
They are
the big
terrifying.
frog. Their motives are to have sex with human women.
Yeah.
Can you even imagine watching a frog have sex with your grandma or your mom?
Oh, I hate the idea of that. I hate the idea of that, Pat.
This movie just makes you think about it, and it really makes you think in a critical way. It makes you think about two frogs having sex with a lady. Maybe a frog is using his tongue sexually, like from far away.
Yeah,
Stuff
I'm not
like that.
necessarily
It
opposed.
really makes you think.
I'm not opposed to that as long as it's with good intention and it's consensual. But these frogs, they're mutants, and they are a society of rules. They do live in their own mutant town, Frogtown, kind of like the Wild West of this post-apocalyptic Los Angeles. But oh man, they are nasty. They are
The
nasty.
Sigma brain's making you yawn. It's exhausting being a mega mind. It is exhausting. This movie came out in the 80s, so you know that the world wasn't ready for this idea of an all-woman government controlling the human population. But hey, this movie is like a dream for us fellas. Getting your crow taken over by an all-lady sexy government.
Yeah,
and
if you
they
still
make
have your seed, then you are set, my man. You are set.
They make you shoot. You are load-bearing.
You can rob banks and still be shooting, because the government's gonna make you do it.
But if you run away, the robot on your junk will beep, and it will blow up your crow if you run away.
Yeah, and you can't have that. That is the worst case scenario. Let me tell you what.
It almost happens to Roddy Piper, to Sam Hell in this. He tries to run away, and what's the main lady's name again? Spangle?
Spangle. Yeah.
Spangle. She pushes her earrings, which controls his crow, which controls his little bird, and it squeezes his junk in this little
in a vice grip.
Around. Yeah, it doesn't look fun. So I don't know. It's kind of a win-lose. I think I'd be okay with the all-lady sexy government controlling my bird, though.
Yeah, as long as you're sterile. I mean, they obviously... I think that if you had men controlling it, then you get a boring movie. You get stuff like Handmaid's Tale. It's gross, it's weird, and Christian and stuff. If you get women running things, then you get Frogtown. You get cool stuff like Frogtown. You get Samurai Sword. You get cool, and then you get hot chicks. And it's like, oh yeah, the more the
Ugh.
merrier. The more the merrier to replenish the human population. Whereas if men are running it, you know it's going to be some dumb,
Snooze
ignorant,
fest.
like, yeah, it's going to be some dumb, ignorant. Men created all of the religions. Sorry, folks. If you're new to here, God's not real. Men created religion. And if women did it, women would be like, no, we can be fuck beasts and let's do all this cool stuff.
Let's put some robots on your bird, and you have to be a fuck beast. And just so you all know, we're not fuck beasts. We wish we were fuck beasts, but our testosterone is pretty low. That's why we're Sigma males. I'm not confident.
We are. I will say, Pat is being modest because our testosterone levels are low compared to men like Roddy Piper back in 1988. However, compared to the vast majority of the population today, our testosterone levels are 10 times higher than your average male. And that is because you have a ton of things going on, including chronic stress. That's a big one. That's one's going to affect your T levels. Soy. Even red meat. If you're eating red meat, sorry, T's going down.
It's not good for your T. Yeah, and there's estrogen in the water supply. It's turning everyone into a girl.
There's estrogen in your milk. If you're drinking milk.
So you can't be vegan or a meat eater because soy and milk is bad.
Yeah, and so your only options are to do the right research, make sure you're eating supplementation, and then you're eating the right foods. That's what you have to do. So to lay it out for you, it's very simple. Make sure you're eating the right foods, proper alpha brain supplementation, and then avoid the wrong foods. And I feel like if people just knew that, how simple is that? That's so simple. Eat the right stuff.
I could break it down even simpler. 4 words. Do your own research.
Yeah, because sadly the thing is that if you don't do your own research, then you're going to be just sort of told what to do, how to think, how to feel, what to eat. And
sheeple. That's a sheep move.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry, sheep. Luckily, if you're listening to this, you are not a sheep. You are you're on your way to becoming a megamind like us, and you have chosen the right path. Through movie excellence, we are going to save the world, and you're on the ground floor. This is our 3rd season, but it's still the ground floor.
I mean, this movie really made me picture what civilization could be if we were allowed to restart things. If we were allowed to shake hands with the women in power. And
is it worth it? Is it worth it to have big mean frogs to get this government?
I mean, I think the frogs are sanctioned to their own village and they're in mutant territory. Just let the mutants have like Wyoming and Texas, you know? Let the mutants
two-state solution.
Yeah, let the mutants have it. And if there's mutants that want to be liberal and they want to join the human population in like a liberal New York or something like that, that's the more the merrier. I mean, how awesome would it be? Like, there is a woman frog in this, and she is smoking hot. She's smoking hot, and my only problem with this movie is that Roddy Piper doesn't treat her with the respect that she deserves.
Well, he's not. He doesn't have the See, there wouldn't. Sorry, I'm getting a vision in the middle of my.
What is it, Pat?
Point.
What is it, Pat?
You're gonna get out. You're gonna get out of the halfway house, Will.
Yes.
You're gonna have that court hearing next week, and you are getting out of that halfway house. You're gonna kill it in front of that judge. You're gonna wear your good shirt, and
I
you're
got
gonna
the good
get
shirt.
out. You got your court and wedding shirt, and you're getting out. And after you're out of court, we are going to save the world. We're going to show these people all the best movies that were destroyed by Hollywood, the elitist deep state, and we're going to free the targeted individuals from their prison. And nothing can stop certified cinephiles.
Wow. I can't believe you just had that vision. I just have chills. I have chills, chat. I have chills.
Don't go to Dunkin' Donuts before the hearing. You're gonna spill coffee on your nice shirt.
Oh my God. I totally was going to go to Dunkin'.
I
It's
know
right next
you.
to the courthouse.
I know. Don't go.
I was going to get a Ben
And
Affleck Dunkin'. Oh my God.
Yeah, you're gonna fumble it all on your nice shirt before. Go after the hearing, and if you
That
need
is
coffee,
crazy.
and if you need coffee, wear a bib. Okay, you can go, but wear a bib.
Yeah, because I'm going to need to go.
You need your Joe.
I need my Joe. It's really hard not to get it when I'm there. It's a little treat for going to courthouse. It's a little treat for going to courthouse.
It's a little
Wow. I'm so happy.
little courthouse treat.
Yeah. I'm so amazed by your powers. Chat and listeners here, if you didn't know, Patrick, we are both mega minds, but Pat is at a far higher level than I am.
It's like Jedi. Some Jedi have different kind of force powers, and this is kind of like the Force. I can see premonitions. Bill is good at semen retention and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I wish I was better at semen retention. But
I'm
I have,
great at semen retention.
premonitions.
I'm good at sun in my hole, downloading information from the cosmos. That is all stuff that I can
You
do.
should see him when we are astral projecting and playing pickleball in the astral plane. He plays as a giant naked man, and I can't do it. He shines in the astral plane. I'm lucky to have him on my pickleball team because he is a big naked man out there, and I'm just my regular self. I don't know how to shapeshift like that.
Isn't that amazing?
Up there. So my point is, we all kind of have the ways that we shine, you know?
Exactly. And Pat really knows how to dial it into this plane of existence and really connect the worlds. It does a lot. It does a lot for us, and personally gives me hope. So this movie, we have obviously written and directed by Donald G. Jackson, producer of Rollerblade 7 and all of the Rollerblade 7 movies, starring Roddy Piper, Canadian wrestler extraordinaire, Roddy Piper. Also, you've probably seen him in They Live, another movie canceled by the Hollywood elitist deep state for obvious reasons. It's the whole movie They Live is about pretty much the Hollywood elitist deep state and the government. We have Sandal Bergman, who plays Spangle, who is so freaking fine.
Smoking.
They are so freaking fine.
She is a smoke show. She is a damn smoke
Let's get
show.
this image up here. Let's see. Let's show them what we're dealing with.
Do you have a saxophone drop?
I should. Look at these two.
Ooh. And that white earring you see she's wearing, that controls his bird. So if he run away, if he do bad thing, she just press her earring and his bird gets squeezed up.
It gets, not only does his bird get squeezed, but it is about to blow up. It's also emotional torture as well.
Mm-hmm.
And
she says if those earrings fall off her ears, if they aren't against her ears, his his crow will explode.
Look how beautiful she is.
She is so hot.
She a natural.
I think
beauty.
she's hotter with her big glasses on too. She has big glasses she wears in the first act, and you're like, "What's up with this lady?"
Yeah,
Who is she?
Yeah, this nerd, I can tell is nerd hot, but this nerd
hot.
this nerd hot, but I
babe.
can't wait till this nerd take off these big glasses.
Then we know for sure if she hot.
But also, that's something that's so amazing about this movie is that not only do they show, because the glasses let you know she's smart. The glasses let you know she's smart.
Mm-hmm.
Here, Pat, give it another try. Pat's gonna give her. Oh wait, this doesn't really work like this. Doesn't really work like this. There's too much. But I can imagine.
You could just imagine what it'd be like if me and her were snogging, and my God, it would be monumental.
I love imagining that. I think that would be amazing, and I would do a lot just to see that. I would do a ton just to watch.
Yeah, you
watch
would.
that go down. And I wouldn't want you just to kiss. I think she has been trained
It would
in
lead to
seduction
other stuff.
techniques. Yeah. She's been trained in seduction techniques. She's very good at it. And she messes with them. She knows how to use it. She really messes with hell. So if you don't know, Roddy Piper's character is Sam Hell. So he's the guy. He's Hell that's coming to Frogtown. Pretty crazy stuff. Well, Pat, I think it's time we show some scenes.
Let's
we show
go.
some scenes.
Let's go. Is there chat? Is the chat up to anything?
Chat's going hard. Welcome, PJ. He's very wet in the chat. So,
is PJ a wet frog? Who's
PJ's
a
wet frog. And it's good times over here. And so I think we should start with the scene that left me personally speechless. It not only made me sick to my stomach, but it also kind of amazed me. And it was the Dance of the Three Snakes. How did you feel about that scene, Pat?
So this is my god tier scene. I think she is so fine. Let's just watch it, honestly.
Oh, wow. Okay, let's give it a shot.
Look at Spangle in action.
And she's dancing. She's got her white satin robes. And the King of Frogtown is very aroused. And here we go. We're going to see the three snakes dancing.
There they are. He is rubbing up on those
You
snakes.
have aroused the three snakes!
Love this part.
Come to me!
Come to me. Yeah. Pretty hot scene. Love the music. Music is very
I know what you're
erotic.
wondering. If you were to please the Frog King and all three of his snakes, would you have to get each one off? And I tried to look this up because they don't clarify in the movie. I could not find any information on it. So I don't know if you just have to make him bust out of one, or if you kind of got to be tending to all three.
Imagine it like a strawberry Twizzler. You know, not a regular Twizzler, the strawberry kind that's all
the better kind.
Yeah, the better kind that's all wrapped up. You take those three because they're thin, and then you're going to kind of braid them like hair. And you can kind of do whatever you want. But frogs don't last long at all. They're very quick ejaculators. That's how, biologically speaking, they've evolved. It's a very quick
they can nut
insemination
quick.
process. Yeah, because they're under
babies
threat.
are sexy like right away. Their babies are sexy right away. They can they're after they're done being tadpole. But their babies are sexy pretty right away.
Yeah, they get legal.
Human
they get
babies
legal
are
quick.
useless. Human babies are useless for like fucking 18 years.
Yeah, plain and simple. But frogs, they have, fresh out the eggs. They have to
fresh out the egg, froggy rolling that body, got every tadpole and so what? I'm a frog. It's a freaking Frogtown, baby, about to have me a nut. Three snakes,
Hell yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah,
what were you
personally,
saying?
well, this scene really had me, cuz what a really weird predicament. Before this scene, she's sort of like put into this weird trance. She's like drugged a little bit by all these other human women that are held prisoner there that she's meant to rescue, and they get her aroused by putting sheets, kind of fluttering sheets up and down, like the parachute game that you would play in gym class. And
I didn't think that was weird because that always aroused me.
the parachute game in gym class.
Yeah, it was
I
like,
think it was
oh,
meant to, yeah, and I think that's why they stopped doing it because it's incredible.
We're in a secret room.
Yeah, and
You know, it's something sexual about being under there with all your classmates.
you get to see them in a whole new light, and not only that, but you get to see your teacher in a whole new light. Like, yeah, they're adventurous too. It's their first time living too. You know,
Yeah.
we can't take this away from them. I need to treat my teacher
And-
with a little bit more respect because she'd be looking a little bit different over here.
And if Mr. Crubbard brushed up against your crow, it was an accident.
And don't say anything to anybody
He
about
told you. He said it was an accident.
it. Oh, I'm sorry, Patrick.
He wanted to take my shorts off, but he said it was an accident. I won't let it happen again. But you look like you were asking for it. Sorry, Mr. Crubbard.
Wow. Is he still teaching?
He died.
Oh, thank God.
Another student shot him in the head with a gun.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Holy smokes. Well, I
In
can't
his
say that
office.
that wasn't warranted, you know, if he's
Yeah. He was brushing up his arm against a lot of kids' crows.
and somebody did something about it. I just hope that
Yeah.
they got away with it, you know?
I think they did.
You got to think about if you're going to be doing, that's one thing that we've learned, having been enemies of the Hollywood elitist
The
deep
Hollywood
state,
elitist deep state.
is that you can't react. You have to think ahead. And if you want to get away with something, it can't be reactionary. The only reason why I'm in the halfway house in the first place was because I swatted all of these families in as a prank, but it was reactionary. So it was easy to track me down. Had I given it some thought, paused, slept on it a little bit, if I was a megamind at that point, I would have known
Let
better
it happen
than...
to some other people.
Yeah.
Watch, see what they do. You know?
I could have just waited.
Don't be the first
I
pawn
could have
to
just
go
waited
out.
like 6 months or 2 weeks, and then I could have done it, and it wouldn't have gotten to me, you know. So you can't be reactionary like that. You know, this kid from my high school, he killed his mom. Joey Mayeski, he killed his mom, and I'm like, why? Okay, first off, you know, you shouldn't have killed your mom, and then tried to kill his stepdad, but didn't. He didn't finish the job, and I'm just like, why didn't you maybe take a deep breath? Maybe go outside.
Yeah.
Maybe move out too, you know?
Do your own research.
Do your own research.
If he would have found this podcast, I know it wasn't around then, but if he would have found it, he would have found a different place to push all his to focus all his energy, you know, towards the Hollywood elitist deep state. We're all angry. We're all fucking pissed off to shit.
Another one.
We're all so fucking pissed. I'm so mad, but I don't want to take it out on Will. I don't want to shoot Will in the head with a big gun or a bazooka. I want to shoot the Hollywood elitist deep state in the head with a big gun or a bazooka.
In a video game.
And
Video
that's how it goes. So I just want to thank all of you for listening, because you're in the right place. We are on a mission.
We're on a mission
But
from
that's not what
God.
that's not what we're talking about right now. We're talking about Frogtown.
Yeah. And okay, so this is a scene that I agree with the critics on. And the critics were like, this guy can't you're going to make him go on this big mission to have sex with all of these chicks and impregnate them because you got in trouble. Why wouldn't they just have a program already being like, "Hey, maybe you're having a hard time in the apocalypse. If you have this level of spermazoa, let us know." The guy's out there risking his life. He's got all of his family's dead, and it's only because they caught him with an illegal firearm that he's now having to impregnate chicks. I'm sorry, but a lot of strife could have been avoided if they just let him do it in the first place.
Fellas want to bust.
Yeah.
In a video, I'm about to bust.
There it is. All right, let's just take a watch. Let's take a watch.
Spermazoan count we've ever tested.
Must have been all that fiber
great.
when I was a kid.
I'm authorized to offer you a clean slate.
Oh, look at her in
All
those big
charges
glasses.
dropped. Now, MedTech's main assignment is to locate and impregnate fertile women in the wastelands. Now, we need
Yes.
potent young men in the fields to assist in this great work.
Potent.
Men who can take care of themselves, who know the
Yes.
territory,
Selves.
who can perform under difficult
Look
conditions.
at that shit-eating
Do you
grin.
feel up to it?
Are you serious?
Are you serious?
Well, maybe you'd rather we sent you back to Devlin.
On the other hand, I've always been a patriot.
Spermazoan count we've ever tested.
On the other hand, I've always been a patriot. He sounds amazing. Also, you know
Yeah.
that, I mean, he's Canadian, and
But we won't hold it against him.
I think he says it. I think he says it with a little. He's got. I think that it's speaking from the heart because he's obviously like, look, I'm not. I don't care about America, but I do. I'll be a patriot. Sure, I'll do it. But his spermazoa count, he's so fertile. He's also tough, and he can handle his own, and he can perform under difficult circumstances. Yes, please. And if you want to see those difficult circumstances, you're going to have to watch the movie for yourself because YouTube won't let us play it. But trust me, it is freaking hot. And yes, you see boobs, and it's great. You see
Makes my
boobs on
free
some
snake
absolutely
stance.
hot chicks. They're throwing them at them. They're
It's
all
not
like
just the boobs. You see the whole chicks.
that. You see them all. You see the whole kit and caboodle.
His first night out on the road was Spangle. They're going to Frogtown. They're camping. They have this major with them. She's smoking hot. She's a badass.
She's got big
The
gun.
first night they camp, she gets into bed with him and she's like, "I want to see what this is all about. I've heard a lot about you, Sam Hell." And Spangle comes out and she says, "What the fuck are you doing, you sluts?" And I don't think I like Spangle at this point. But I love this scene because it lets me know this is going to be an extremely horny movie.
Exactly. There's even a scene where Spangle watches Sam Hell have sex with a drugged up young woman who's fertile. And yeah, maybe something you get away with in 1988. A little messed up in my opinion, but does show there's a cuckolding situation here. She likes to watch.
This movie invented polyamory. The end of this movie is the beginning of polyamory.
That's true.
Me and Will aren't the biggest fans of polyamory. We like to be monogamous.
We are radical centrists, so just have
It's a little
that.
too
Take that as you will.
progressive for us.
All the power
but-
to all the kids out there getting nuts and having fun. But
as long as
yeah,
you're being safe, getting tested, procuring raincoats, popping on sheaths, do what you will, okay?
yeah.
But not for us.
She told me she was 18.
Not for us. Pat, I mean, how did you feel about that? I mean, did you I think that there's movies out there that they just ignite a sense of hope. And this scene in particular
Yes.
made me feel nothing but pure hope.
The one you're about to play?
No, the one where he's getting the mission.
Oh, yes. It gave me hope that maybe this could happen to me one day, but it gave me hope for the human race too, because I just believe in the spirit of the human race and of Rowdy Roddy Piper, and I was just filled with this joy that only good movies can provide me with. And you're right, yeah. It's a great scene.
And with proper supplementation and with methods like sunning hole,
doing your own research,
astral projection, the proper diet, making sure you're not eating the wrong things, you can survive the apocalypse and you will be able to be like Rowdy Roddy Piper. You're going to be able to be the one that's able to impregnate so many women. And it's not even, you don't have to feel guilty about it because it's like the government orders it. Because the government's run by women. So,
and the 80s wasn't ready for that. The 80s wasn't ready for that. The Hollywood elitist deep state shot this shit down because of the women in power. The 80s weren't ready for that.
They were terrified because they knew that people would see this movie and be like, "That's not so bad. That's not so bad."
It would have sped up the whole thing. It confused a lot of people too, because they're like, "Wait a minute, ladies is sexy. I like when lady gets sexy.
Ladies sexy and in power
too?
Yeah,
that's nuts."
Hello there.
And they didn't want the public thinking this way.
Exactly. Well, Pat, you know exactly what time it is. It is
God tier scene. It's a God tier scene. God tier scene. God tier scene.
Yes.
I'm about to bust.
It's the God tier scene.
We're about to bust out the God tier scene.
This movie had this was actually hard for me personally because this movie had so many of these incredible scenes that I would say were very hot contenders. I mean, we had some good contenders.
The three snake dance was my God tier scene, I think.
But at the end of the movie, when all is on the line, they've made their escape, but then they are attacked by the fleet of Frogtown pieces of crap, and
these crud buckets, and it's the one last dance that Sam Hell has to do with the big king frog and the guy with the three snakes. You should have implemented them in battle. That might have helped it.
Yeah, exactly. Have them hold like a ninja star, a shuriken, a small blade.
They could throw. Yeah, that's the fucking dumbass frog.
Yeah, they're strong, but they do not have smart points. So let's take a look. Oh yeah. He's fallen. Sam Hell is just pure rage at this point. It's amazing. I mean, incredible acting, pure rage. The frog is holding on to his ankle. He's about to fall off this cliff. And Sam's he's like, the frog's going to take him down with it. He can barely touch his sword. Can he get his sword in time? He snags the sword and chops off his hand.
Bye.
And the frog falls to his death. Crazy.
Beautiful stuff.
Yeah, pretty crazy stuff. I mean, really
that
makes you
frog
think.
Was wearing human boots. I don't like how that frog was appropriating human culture. He just had human legs and human boots on, and I thought it was offensive.
Well, he's out in the desert. It's kind of like dune rules where moisture is just being evaporated from them. The frogs have to keep a mucus layer. That's how they breathe. Otherwise, they
they're
dry
wet,
up.
yeah.
It ain't going to work. So,
You're smart.
yeah.
You're so good about animals, I forget.
And these are mutants. So, I mean, they are human to an extent. You know, they do have.
Yeah, they're humanoid frogs.
Yeah.
I
Their
read
whole
that's
language
my
is
point.
human. Yeah.
Sustained.
Sustained.
Right after this is another great scene. Sam Hill gets his bird cage taken off, and
Thank God.
And he goes back to Spangle, and she's like, "You're free. Why'd you come back?" And he's like, "I wanted to have sex with you." And then they make out, and they get in the Humvee, and there's all these babes in the backseat. And,
Oh, yeah.
And she's like, "We're gonna go on vacation together, but not till after you do your work." And he's like, "What work do I have to do?" And then he turns back, and it's all these babes ready to get spermed inside of. And then him and Spangle make out, and you know that they are having a wonderful poly life together. He fucking all these ladies, but he still has a main science lady.
Yeah, the rules with Spangle are pretty simple. It's like you can only get him pregnant once, and then they got to move on. Sorry, babe, but you got to move on, okay? We've done what we needed to do. We've seen what we needed to see. You busted in
I
her.
could get pregnant by him as many times as I want, but you could only get pregnant from him one time, babe.
One time, babe. That's it. You can have twins, you can have triplets, you can be octomommy, whatever. If men were running the government and this was the type of situation, it would be like artificial insemination stuff. It would be so boring. It'd be Elon Musk creating a Cybertruck fuck machine that extracts all of your semen while you drive, and then it's like taken to a lab, and then it gets shipped to all of the people that want it shipped to. It's no fun. Zero fun.
And
Absolutely
the Cybertruck
terrible.
doesn't even extract it in a fun way. It does it in a painful way, where it just kind of stabs into your balls and suctions it out. It doesn't
25
like,
gauge needle just purely extracting sperm.
Yeah.
Just extracting sperm.
Just extracting the sperm out of you in
And
your Cybertruck.
it's awful to think. But if you have women running it, they're compassionate. They're, they think about these things, and they create an oasis. They create a true heaven for everybody. Everybody's happy. I mean, you don't have to get pregnant, but if you want to, you could, and you have a good reason to. Government's probably shelling out a good amount of money for it. Think about that. That's smart
And you
stuff.
get to fuck a professional wrestler.
Yeah, you get a professional wrestler that is very good at fighting.
And sex.
Yes.
But, the point that I took away from this movie is we don't need to worry about the water turning the frogs gay. We need to worry about the water turning the frogs mean. So pay attention to the frogs. Look and see if their eyebrows are pissed off. Don't judge them if they're doing same-sex stuff. Judge them if they're being mean.
Exactly. We should all just judge people if they're mean. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Well, Pat, obviously this movie was not well reviewed. People wanted it out of the theaters. It crashed in the box office, and the critics, to no avail, had some bad things to say.
These fuckers.
So first one up we have is Marky Milkers from People Magazine. What a stupid name that is.
Fucking idiot.
Shuts your hole!
I can't believe that's Marky Milkers is someone's name. And
Yeah.
that People magazine hired him.
I think they probably hired him just because of the name, because his writing's dog shit. Markey wrote, "The humor is continually overpowered by the numbing lack of sincere adventure."
What? What the fuck? What the fuck?
Yeah. Sorry, Marky, whatever. That is the
This guy
dumbest thing
probably
I
has
think
big
I've
old
ever heard.
tits.
Oh my god, he probably does.
Is that dick
He has
good?
mommy milkers.
Yes,
Marky
he
Milkers
absolutely
has
does.
mommy milkers. He should work for
Uh,
Penis magazine because he is a penis. This
Yeah.
guy is stupid. The adventure, this is top tier adventure. This is your favorite movie. Do you think that Will's favorite movie wouldn't have top tier adventure in it? I don't think so, Marky Milkers. I'm going to chop off your big mommy milkers and I'm going to make you nurse yourself, you fucking turd. I'm so pissed. I'm so fucking pissed off.
Pat, that's amazing. For Marky, I just want to say that I don't know what part of this movie didn't have sincere adventure to you, from the dystopian LA to him being arrested to him being contracted by the government to rescue and then impregnate a baker's dozen gals in a mutant village where they had to travel across a sandy plain for days on end in order to do so. Meanwhile, a love story continues, and there's other women throwing him at it. He's trying to escape. There's a story of his hurt from his own past and dealing with the apocalypse. I don't know what kind of sincerity you need, if you need like Finding Nemo or something dumbed down for you. But obviously, you're way too stupid to be writing for People's Magazine. You're way too stupid to represent anybody other than yourself. You need to truly go. I just want you to walk down into the bottom of the ocean, and just get eaten by fish squirrels
Slay.
in a video game.
Marky
In
Milkers.
a video game.
Go work
Yeah,
for
Pat.
Penis magazine.
Pat, do you want to read our next one?
Yeah, this is by Stefan Swords of the Atlanta Telegraph. Obviously, this is some sort of like sword-wielding gay guy. He's a diversity hire. Nothing wrong with wielding swords or being gay, but when you're a piece of shit critic like this who works for the Atlanta Telegraph, I'm gonna drop some knowledge on you. Stefan Swords writes, "If you rent a film with this title, you deserve whatever you get. Utter crapola."
Oh, yikes.
So this guy's judging movies based on their titles. First of all, this movie has a rockin' title. It has a rockin' title. Who wouldn't want to watch a movie called Hell Comes to Frogtown? It sounds sick as hell. I'm curious right off the jump. I love frogs. Stefan, you probably think frogs are gross and disgusting and don't deserve to even be the villain in a movie. Crapola isn't a word. I'm going to take you to Atlantic City. I'm going to show you a good time. I'm going to give you a couple G's to throw on the craps table or whatever. You'll teach me how to play craps because I don't know. I'll call it crapola. And then you'll be like, what? And I'll be like, yeah, you remember when you wrote crapola in this review of this great movie? And he'll get freaked out. He'll start sweating. And I'll be like, I'm just kidding. We win tens of thousands of dollars at the craps table. We're raking it in. He's letting his guard down. He's having sips. But then I keep bringing up this review, and it keeps weirding him out a little bit. He's freaking out a little bit. And then I take him back to the hotel room. I tell him we got some Coke back at the hotel. We're going to do some lines. Then we're going to go back out and play some more craps. But guess what? When we get back out to the hotel room, there's no Coke. It's just me. And then I got these guys to dress up like big wet frogs. Humanoid mutant frogs, like from the movie. And they have baseball bats. And the three of us just go to fucking town on you. We're beating the shit out of you. We're beating the shit out of you. And no, it's not a hate crime. It's because you're dumb.
In a video game.
And you can't get hate crimed for killing a dumb guy.
Yeah. And you can even say that the entire time. This is because you're dumb.
I know you're gay. I respect gay people. This is not because you're gay. This is because you work for the Hollywood elite deep state. And you are a shill for evil.
Giving gay people a bad name, honestly. Giving gay people a bad name. Sorry, Stefan Swords, you're giving gay people a bad name.
We believe in equality and equity, and that means that any style of person could be bad. Will's beaten up a lot of black trans people before, not because
That's
they're black
not true.
Trans.
In a video game.
I'm just kidding.
But you get the picture. You get the picture.
I'm sorry.
You're just vibing.
I was giving an example.
You're giving an example. Stefan, I mean, truly, I'll leave it with Pat on that one because you rented it. You were mad that you rented it?
Did
for
he
the
even
Atlanta
watch
Telegraph?
it? Or
Did you even watch it? Did you just think, oh, this
Stefan?
movie's just in the video store? This is just a family video or Blockbuster situation? I don't know.
Huh?
Yeah, I think I feel sorry for you, honestly. But Pat, you know what time it is. Unfortunately, I did find our friend, and by friend
How does
I mean
he keep
enemy.
getting away with it?
Keith Beef from the Washington Post wrote a review on this movie.
Shut up, bitch!
He wrote, Hell Comes to Frogtown is easily my least favorite of these three movies. It's boring, confusing, pointless, and very unlikable. To that I ask,
hell's he even
what
talking
three
about?
movies are you talking about, Keith? What three movies
What
are you
does
even
it-
talking about?
Frog movies?
Shut your hole!
Is he talking about Roddy Rowdy Piper movies?
He's got to be. He's got to be talking about Roddy Piper. But, yeah, Keith, I'm sorry, but you failed again.
Bruh.
You failed again. And, frankly, I've had just about enough. And if I wasn't rehabilitated to society, I could think of a lot of things to do to you. But really, at the end of the day, I think that it's just sad how you live your life. So,
Full of hate.
yeah, I think you're just torturing yourself. I mean, I'm sure you're alone. I'm sure that you're not really happy with how life's gone for you. You know, you probably had dreams and goals at a young age, and you gave up on those pretty quick. And this is what
And
you
you
do.
just criticize some of the best movies ever made. For what? What are you making? $30K a year? Huh, Keith? To besmirch, to shill out for the Hollywood elitist deep state?
Yeah, how much do they pay you? How much is your soul worth? You know? It's sad.
Yeah.
It's sad.
Pathetic, Keith.
Yeah.
Just stop reviewing good movies.
Plain
You
simple.
don't know shit.
Yeah.
You can actually listen. You can actually. May have said this before, but you can actually read a Keith Beef review and just go with the opposite opinion, and it'll probably be right. You know?
Yeah,
If it's a bad review, the movie will be good.
How well that works. It's phenomenal how well that works. I have yet to find a Keith Beef review of a movie that I don't like. So, also have
He's
yet
a
to
piece
find a
of
Keith
shit.
Beef review that I agree with. So, haha to you, Keith. Hope you're happy. Hope you're
I'm
happy
gonna
with what we're
beat
doing
you
with
up.
you.
In a video game.
All right, listeners, this is our cap at season 3, and we'll be back in weeks to come with My Freedom, My Wings Stretched, hopefully, if Patrick's vision
if the
comes
judge,
true.
it's gonna come true, but if the judge is listening to this, if Will's judge is listening to this, he never beated up any black trans women. I'm sorry for saying that. I'm sorry to everyone for saying that. I didn't mean it.
He took it back, It works. He took it back. See?
I think that if the judge is listening to this, you're screwed, though. The podcast keeps screwing us.
There's no
every time we go
way.
to court. The podcast keeps screwing us up every
But
time
we
go
say
to
it's
court.
in a video game. It's satire, haha.
I don't know if that fully covers us legally.
It's satire, wink. And we have our video game button. We have our video
can
game
wink.
button.
We should do the wink more.
Wink?
Oh, well, stick around, certified cinephiles. We are taking a brief break, but we will be back with more movies. Again, every movie this quote season has been free on YouTube. Go watch them; they're all amazing. Curse Keith Beef's name under your tongue as you watch. Crank one out to Frogtown.
And
Pray for Will. Take your alpha brain. Become a mega mind.
exactly.
Do your own research.
I'm at the